What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and I have something kind of interesting right here to show you, stuff that I knew was coming out, but I was actually kind of unfamiliar as how it was actually going to work. So the lovely team over at WizKids, and thank you to them and to V for sending me these awesome, they're Papercraft, so this is something new. As we've seen, you can see the back here, it's like a whole lodge kind of a thing. This is a new thing they've been, I gotta give props to WizKids for reaching out and trying new things, right? So we saw the sort of flat pack acrylic minis, while they did have some issues with the packaging being removed. Still a cool concept. We've seen tons of painted and unpainted minis over the time. They've done cool props and things as well, like the dragon heads. And now we're getting into Papercraft. So I've got the lodge right here, and then this is 10 towns, which looks like it's like 3 lodges. So I received these. Why don't we go ahead and cut these open? I really don't know what to expect. I don't know what kind of ease of use we're going to have as we get into these. And like it says it's paper craft, right? So by definition, that means we are going to have to craft them ourselves. Maybe it's just sort of origami folding style. Maybe we need tape and glue. I really don't know what to expect. We'll start with the lodge because it's the smaller of the two. And we can go ahead and open this up. And we can see right on the front here, we do have sort of tab goes into slot, etc. Here, punch out building elements, match numbers, and follow images below to assemble. So that's it here, and then you can see here's the back. So I'm going to go ahead and move this box out of the way. And yeah, it looks like, so I, again, never done these. So I will more than likely speed things along to sort of get to the finished product. And then I don't know if I'll go through the entire process of building this one out, like actually live, but I may just show the final product. So we've got, there's only one page for this lodge here, just this page full of instructions. And then we have, okay, so it's not actually paper craft, it's more like a cardboard craft. If you can see, there are layers of paper here. And if we go ahead and push, oh, this is, oh, weird. Look at, oh, it folds. Look at that. This is kind of cool. All right. So I think, like I said, what I'll likely end up doing is speeding things along, trying to speed things up. It says 1 of 12 here on the bottom, and then on this side, we've got 2 of 12. So it's each side is 1. But I guess maybe the thought process is you can sort of like fold it up and put it away. I don't know. We are learning as we go here. So yeah, I'm gonna start building this. It is, I've got a clock. I just checked the time. So we're gonna see. So I'm not gonna talk. I'm just gonna build, and we'll speed things along, and then we'll see how fast this can be put together with no real knowledge of how to do this. grand total, that took me about, well, I'm not sure how fast you saw it in, but about 25-ish minutes or so to put this whole thing together from start to finish. And let's see, we have, I'll put this, the white box here behind it to sort of give you a little bit of an idea. But either way, it's still a very cool thing here. What I do like, what I think is interesting, is it does have full internal structure, but I don't know if you're supposed to, like, I mean, it's papercraft, right? It's all just tongue and grooves. There was no tools necessary to make this work. I mean, it looks fantastic, right? And if to give you a scale, right, here's a WizKids mini on the map here to give you scale. So, like, even looks like the steps are scaled to be the proper dimensions for a WizKids mini to go up inside, which is pretty cool. My only thoughts are, I don't know if I can actually get back into it. I guess I could probably just peel the tabs off and get back inside. Let's check. You know what? There's not even any information on the box that I could read to you to, like, tell you. It just says the Lodge Papercraft set. I don't know if this is just to provide, if the original thought here is to provide, like, set dressings for your 10 towns. You know, if I move all of this and I look at the 10 towns Papercraft set, it looks like it just looks like 3 additional lodge style buildings, though these do have doors on the front. So yeah, it doesn't, you know, it's an interesting step in this kind of terrain concept, but if we zoom out, I guess if I wanted to get inside, this is only held in by a tab on this side and a tab on that side, so I guess I could just, like, well, I'd have to just take the whole top off. I could. And then you can see inside, but you'd have to be disassembling the entire thing to get down if you wanted to get into this lower level down here on the bottom. There's no good way to get in there. You have to take the whole thing apart, and they're not gridded out with, like, 5-foot squares if you wanted to use them for combat terrain. So I think, I mean, for one, this could be my first, like, Christmas village for my house, but instead it's actually 10 towns, which I think would be kind of funny for, like, a D&D fan to have your own, like, little D&D village. As it stands right now, this was not too difficult to put together. This could definitely be a fun, like, project that you would do with your kids if you wanted, or just a fun kind of, you know, other than being slightly frustrated going through it. I didn't love, so the instructions, let me show you why I seem to be so frustrated if you happen to catch that. The instructions shows you all of these different areas with numbers. So if I were to look at, say, this folded up thing, right, it says 7 of 12, but I have to then open each one and look at the numbers on each section, right? See how this says, like, 13, this says 11, and each one of the little pegs, the slots and grooves, has a little tiny number on it to figure out how to stick them together. But there didn't seem to be any, at least in my opinion, any rhyme or reason, right? So number 7 out of 12 here has 15, 11, 13, and 17. Number 5 out of 12 has 18, 27, 28, 7, and 14. So in my mind, maybe it's just me being too organized. I would rather have it, like, if 1 out of 12 out of these starts with 1 through whatever. I realize that may not have worked out well for punching out the pieces for paper, you know, for the different crafting pieces, but it just felt like you saw me flipping back and forth between them trying to find the right number. I also happened to notice that the 3 steps on the front of the building, the order that they're presented in the actual instructions is not the order that matches the tabs in the actual staircase. That's not a huge deal. You could easily figure out how to change it, but that's kind of a bummer. So back over at my desk, taking a look at it, well, it looks like they are set to come out in, well, a little bit of conflicting information. So let's start there. So if we go to the D&D Mini website, which says releasing January, will fulfill orders soon after release. If we go to Amazon, Amazon says item will be released on December 18th, 2020. So I'm not really sure. If we check the WizKids site, the 10 town set, the 3 different houses, which we can see here, these also look like these are rendered images, not the actual product, are listed at $29.99. Here on Amazon, they're listed at $35 plus $12.95 shipping. This is from the WizKids store on Amazon, by the way. Says it arrives after Christmas regardless, but this also says that it arrives in April 2nd to the 6th, but it will be in stock on the 18th. Same thing for this, arrives in April. This is listed as $20, the thing that we just put together. Again, you can see this looks to be almost, this is Papercraft, yeah, but this has to be a digital rendering because this looks way cleaner than like a piece of paper would. This almost looks like it's made out of plastic as opposed to being made out of paper. And then the that is listed for, on the WizKids site for $15.99. Whoops, my mistake. Sorry, $15.99 as opposed to $20 plus the whatever it was, $12, $10 shipping. So what is it? Does it give us any more information if we read it? Let's click. So, all right. An unnatural, never-ending no, it just basically gives us 10 Town information, right? Will you be able to discover the source of this frigid maelstrom, or will 10 Towns explore the adventure of Icewind Dale at the Lodge? So we really don't have a ton of information regarding this. I don't really have anything. Super sturdy cardboard buildings that are playable inside and out, it says. Remove the roofs to see the grid and art for each room. I didn't see, I'm gonna jump back over to my other room and take a look. I didn't see any grids on there, and I definitely did not see an easy way like you saw. I didn't see a very easy way to remove the tops. I mean, maybe the one that I did, just the lodge, was the reason why. But it didn't seem like it would be really easy to take those off, especially to get to those lower levels with the way everything was stuck together. But I will say the price is right, $35 for 3 like sort of pieces of terrain, though they are made out of paper. You know, I'm not entirely sure. Like, see, these have these like icicles on the sides. I don't think we're gonna have those on a paper mini. This looks great though. I would love this in like an actual WizKids terrain piece, similar to like the stone bridge or things like that. But like I said, I definitely applaud WizKids for so it was a tavern, apothecary, and residence, or those 3 houses. I definitely applaud them for trying different things and trying different materials to get something to work. I still think sticking to the traditional minis is the best bet, but there is obviously a market for budget terrain out there, right? Not just going with super expensive printed, either 3D printed by yourself or purchased, painted, or painting them yourselves, right? There's a market there for an affordable middle ground, and it seems like that's sort of what they're trying to do with these, and I do respect and appreciate that, and I'm sure a lot of other folks do as well. It's just, you know, if you're gonna be using that, are you gonna be putting these out, and how's that gonna go? So yeah, I'm gonna jump back over to the other camera and take a look at it a little bit closer, see if maybe I mixed it up and put the pieces in maybe upside down somehow, and the grid is on the other side. I don't know. We'll take a look. Let's jump over there and see. Right, so I grabbed the light, so I'm a little washed out in the corner, but now we can see things a little bit better here. So if I want to take this roof off, like we said, it's these 2 tabs. I'll just go ahead and lift, and this comes off. Now, oh, you know what I do? I see it down here on the bottom. I do see grids. So maybe I put this piece in upside down, possibly? Go ahead and take that out and see. No, there's not grids on the bottom of this. On this upper floor, it does not have grids. The lowest bottom floor does have grid. So, and you can see here, I was actually able to wrench on this pretty hard, and it didn't really cause any, like I have a little bit of a crease in the cardboard here from me really wrenching on it, but for the most part, structurally, this thing is sound. And then for this, it's 4 tabs. This one seems to come off a little bit easier. And we can look down inside, but the problem that I have is, see this? How it's like there's this upper stair level here, and then like there's grids down here on the very bottom, but like I can't get underneath this piece because of, I'd have to take the whole, I'd basically be disassembling the entire thing to get that to work. And to me, that's not really convenient. You know, if there was somehow a way where these things could sit on the top and I could just like very carefully lift them off while they were assembled. I mean, you can see putting it back together was relatively easy. Again, we could just do this, just to do tabs on this side. not a big deal to reassemble. So that's something too to consider, right? It's easy disassembly and reassembly in that instance. However, another small thing I have, remember I showed you that I told you there was tiny little numbers. All of those numbers are visible on the outside. So like right here, I can see it says 49 and it says 50. I don't know if I can zoom it in close enough to really show that off. Maybe I can, if we get this to focus in here. Come on, where's the focus? Yeah, there you go. You can very clearly see the number 50 right there and the number 49 right there. So that's the kind of the case on all of the outside pieces. You can see the numbers. That's a super small nitpick for me. I'm not like really hung up on the fact that I can see these outside numbers. That might bother some people. And maybe it's because you could see it on the flap. So when you put it down. But honestly, for like 15 or 20 bucks, this is not a bad piece. I mean, and it's like I can pick this thing up and you can toss it around a little bit, and I'm not, well, one, it's that light that I can even do that, but two, like nothing shifted, nothing moved out of place with me throwing it around like that. So this could get slid around on a table, even like thrown, and it's not going to come apart. And the packaging, I can say that the packaging is nice. It's nice and clean, what you've got here. You could, in theory, disassemble everything and probably put it back. It's a nice folding sort of tuck box, so you could probably do that with, disassemble your pieces and sort of like re-flat pack them if you really wanted to. For me, more often the time when I make these things, they're probably just going to sit, they're just going to sit on a shelf somewhere. But I don't know, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you like these Papercraft minis? Well, first of all, do you like Papercraft minis at all? Do you like what WizKids is offering in these Papercraft minis? And then here we can see we've got our package here with our instructions, right? Building 1 in, building 2 apothecary. Not a whole lot of instructions, just one page here, the whole thing. It looks like these might actually snap together, or no, 3. 1, 2, 3. Looks like these ones might actually go together a lot quicker than the Lodge. But I am curious, your thoughts in the comments. Please let me know. Would you be willing to pick these up? Is the price right? I know there's a little confusion on the price based on what we saw there, but would you be interested in these for roughly $15 to $20 for the larger Lodge, which is again 2 stories, and maybe $30 to $40 or so for this other set that gives you 3 separate buildings? Oh, again, I will have links to the Amazon pages so you can go pick those up. Just as a reminder, I do use affiliate links, so if you're kind enough to use one of my links, I will benefit slightly monetarily, but that's up to you to decide to do that. But I am very curious. What do you think? These are really cool, and I'm very thankful that WizKids did send them to me to play around with. Like I said, I might try to put one of these together with my son. He's not even 4 yet, but he will be in a couple months, and I think that might, this is on a scale of things that he could actually do. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you all next time.